soldiers, welcome to the Christmas Seals. I've been watching you this week, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. You're all turning into a bunch of lean, mean, red and green fighting machines. Now we put together a little training film so you can wisen up a bit and recognize the revolution. Private, hit the lights. Corporal, hit the film.
The best Christmas present that I've ever given was to my parents, and it was the ornaments I made at school.
Oh man, I gave like a really expensive doll to my cousin. That cost a lot of money.
The best gift that I ever gave was the year that I wrapped up my pregnancy test to let Rick know that we were pregnant, including a comic book. It had originally said Dave, we're pregnant, and I whited it out and put Rick, we're pregnant. And he was afraid to open the present because he thought there was something not really nice in there. And when he finally opened it, he just couldn't believe that we were pregnant, and he started crying.
Probably one of the neatest gifts I've ever given was a few years ago. I read an article in a magazine about a gift idea, and so I did it for my mom, and I got an album, and I wrote to all of her friends and sisters and women in our family and people she'd known for like 40, 50 years, and asked them to write a letter entitled What I Love About Sue. And then I put it in a photo album, and I had someone do some calligraphy on the front, and it turned out really nice, and it was just a really neat something she treasures and reads through every now and then. And it was a really neat thing, so I enjoyed doing that.
My greatest Christmas memory was jumping on my mom's bed in the morning of Christmas. That was fun.
Of course, once with my sister when we were kids, from the time that we were fighting in the hallways and we were slamming doors and all the bag of presents fell down, and we knew what we were getting, to the times when we would undo the tape and look at presents and rewrap them and mom didn't know, to the times that we opened presents in the middle of the night and we just kind of went, yay, but didn't say anything out loud and ran into the bedroom and said, look what Santa brought us. And our parents didn't get to see us open our presents. But they were always with my sister, who I love greatly. So it was fun. And those are my best Christmas memories ever, being with family.
Yeah, I have a great Christmas story from when I was young. My sisters and I were around the tree, and they wanted to open up the presents to see what everybody had gotten for Christmas that year. And as they were looking and had gifts unwrapped, I thought it would be real funny to sneak out of the house, and I came around to the other door, and I slung open the screen door and slung open the main door and yelled girls, and at that age I had a little bit higher voice and sounded more like my mom, and my sisters jumped up. Their faces were white as ghosts. Presents laying there unwrapped when I walked into the living room. They if it was really mom, they would have had nowhere to go. But so yeah, I got a pretty good laugh out of that, but I think they ended up getting the last laugh, getting beat up pretty good on that one. So
Christmas memories, but one of the neatest for me, when I was a little girl, I went downstairs and there was a pink cardboard kitchen. It had a stove and a refrigerator, and it had these little burners, and you turn the knobs and they would get red like they were on fire, and then you turn them off. I got little dishes, and I was so excited. Got a new baby doll to go along with it. It was a lot of fun, and that one stands out because I must have been at an age where I was talking about cooking and stuff a lot.
One of my most unforgettable memories of Christmas was when we had our house fire close to Christmas time, and we had to go live in a hotel for a little over a month with all 7 of us, which was not easy. But that in turn caused us to spend Christmas Eve with my mother, and something that she really treasures now. And we took everything there, and Santa Claus come to my mother's house on Christmas Eve, and we started a tradition of eating banana splits on Christmas Eve with my mom, and it's something that the kids really enjoy, and we still sit around and talk about it. It's only been a couple years, but they still sit around and talk about going back to Grandma's for Christmas Eve. And Not that the fire was very eventful, because that wasn't, but the memory that came with it was great.